some good intro energy there too.
It's all right. Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony. You already know here with some of my nearest and dearest. We got Pooch, Doe, and Mateo in the building today, boys, on this beautiful Sunday morning. Mateo with that beautiful moose hat. I don't know why. I like the hat.
It's a jackalope, bud.
That's look like a fucking moose.
No, it's a jackalope. It's a Texas animal. It's a rabbit.
It's a rabbit with antlers.
Mm-hmm.
Look like a moose from here.
You don't remember America's Funniest Home Videos from like the 90s? They had that.
I do, but
they had that skit. It was voiced by that dude from Full House. It had the little asshole like rabbit thing. That was a jackalope.
Yeah,
a jackalope.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I thought it was a fucking moose this whole time. That hat's trash now. I thought it was a moose the whole time.
So are those like horns on the rabbit's head?
Yes. They're not real. They're not real. They're not real animals. It's a taxidermy thing where they put these horns on the rabbit, and then they put them in like, I don't know. There was a barbecue joint down here that used to have these jackalopes.
Oh, so that's not a real fucking animal.
It is not a real animal.
All right, because that shit blew my mind. I was like, wait, this is a real fucking animal?
You're saying jackalope. I'm like, I've never heard of this in my entire life.
Is taxidermy like officially a weird thing to want to do? Like, somebody grows up and they're like, I'm gonna go to taxidermy school and I'm just gonna reskin some dead animals. Like, is that not like a very weird thing to do?
It's an odd job, but I don't think it's weird. They make money. They make pretty good money.
No, they make
odd
great
and
money.
weird, like fucking synonyms.
It's an odd job, but it's not. He's saying, is it weird? Like he can look at somebody weird. I'm like, no, you don't have to look at that dude weird. It's just a job. It's an odd job, yeah, but I'm not saying that guy's weird. Like, no,
There's an expo in Austin that I like to go to sometimes. It's called the Oddities and Curiosities Expo. And this last time I didn't make it, but they had a taxidermy class. It was one of the things that you could do there. Like you could do like I don't know what kind of animal you would work on, but they had some kind of taxidermy class you could sign up for.
That's lit.
It's interesting. I don't know if
I think that's strange as fuck.
I don't know if I'd want to work with a dead animal, but whatever.
I think like Tony says, I think there's certain people, right, that they sort of fall into a job. You know what I'm saying? And whatever. Like that's less weird to me. But like there are also people that are like to Doe's point, someone who's like, yo, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a taxidermist. That shit is strange to me. Like if I was talking to a kid and the kid was like, yo, I want to be a taxidermist when I grow up, I'd be like, yeah, this motherfucker might be a serial killer or something.
maybe this is the problem. Maybe if we had more taxidermist acceptance, maybe Jeffrey Dahmer wouldn't have gone and done the things Jeffrey Dahmer did.
Yeah, some would say. I don't know. I'm just saying. One thing though, I'm actually weirded out by most is why does taxidermy exist? Because whoever started, that's the real fucking weirdo.
I think that's a question for a hunter up there.
The hunters wanted that to show their prize off. Their great catch. You know what I mean? Like you killed.
So you would say that it's a callback to a previous episode where we discussed ego.
No, well, yeah, you could say that, but I mean, like some of that shit's pretty fucking amazing. Like Emily's uncle has this fucking huge fucking like moose or bro. The shit is huge. The head that they have on their wall, it will not fit in your car, Pucho. That shit is huge. I look at that shit every time I go over there. I'm like, damn, this guy killed this thing with one bullet. Like, that shit is insane. It's so fucking big. Never, and that to me, I would have never been able to see that.
What is it?
I would have never known that's how it's a moose, big ass moose.
Oh, those things are huge, dude.
Huge,
gigantic,
huge.
Not even like I didn't think that they were that big. That thing's like twice. That thing's like as big as a semi truck. Like as big as a semi truck.
Damn, I don't know if that
sounds
fucking big.
Go look up a video of a moose, bro. They're 2 times the size of cars, 3 times.
Maybe the size of like Pujo's car and shit, but not no semi truck.
Bro, I saw a video of a moose a few years ago.
La few?
La few.
La few? Nigga hit it with a French.
He's a big
No,
boy or a
they're
big girl.
big. They're big, but I know semi-cab big, nigga. That shit is.
I guarantee you, they're as big as like a semi-cap.
We're gonna be Googling mooses, I guess, after this episode.
How was your weekend, man? How was it? Pooch, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. I mean, I had some family come down, so it was mainly kicking it with my aunt and uncle who came into town, and just hanging out with everybody else and shit. It was cool. It's cool. As you can see, I'm in a different room than usual. So really, what I was getting into beyond just hanging out with people is I'm painting my room, ripping the closet out. I'm gonna put just dude, you're trying to spice up the office. I'm gonna get a new desk, stand desk. I got the new chair ready. So, I'm just trying to spice up the room a little bit. So yeah, basically I didn't finish painting in time because I was hanging out with people instead of painting. And now I'm in here today. Hopefully next week I'll be in my new room, or really my old room,
But the newer version of the
room. Yeah, the new and improved.
This is pretty dope. It gives people insight on your bedroom. Not everybody in the world is gonna be like, wow, Pucho's got a great comforter on this bed. Like, look at his hardwood floors. This man's living lavish. The light switch behind them, it's brand new, prestigious. What about you, though?
My TV's broken, so I don't know how fucking.
How the fuck you break the TV?
I don't know. I go months without turning this TV on because I don't really watch TV in bed and shit. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. One day I was bored and I was like, "Yo, let me just turn the TV on." When I went to turn it on, it's like all staticky. It's really strange. So, like, I could see the picture there, but it looks like anybody who grew up with stolen cable, you try to put the porno channel on and it's like all like warbled. Mm-hmm. That was their way of like hiding the content. And you'd have to call the cable company to like be like, "Hey, I want to watch the pay-per-view today." And you pay some money and then they like stop scrambling the signal that was being sent to your TV. But if you're a horny bastard like me, the warbles were they were good enough. Okay. Anyways, that's what my TV looks like. So it's a little nostalgia of a past time.
That's beast. Oh, that's why he'd never change the TV, I guess, huh? What about you, Doe? How was your weekend? How was your week? What's going on with your life?
Well, guys, I survived the apocalypse this week. Shit. Yo, nobody knew that it was going to be as bad as it did. You know what I'm a little bit upset at? When you watch TV and watch regular TV, all these fucking news channels, all they do is fucking suck off. Oh, our Doppler radar is better than their Doppler radar. Our Doppler radar can see for miles and days. Why didn't they? You niggas couldn't warn us. They couldn't warn us. They kept giving us the warning on our phone. But no, how about a state of emergency before the fucking rain hits? It was about 6, 7 p.m. You could see it. The sky fucking closed up. It started thundering. I was like, uh-oh. Within an hour of it raining, I knew that shit hit the fan. I was like, uh-oh. This is a different type of rain. Apparently, we got like record-setting rain. We got 3 inches in an hour or 4 inches in an hour when the most we've gotten in New York was like 2 inches ever. Mm-hmm. This was like 4 inches an hour for like a lot of hours. It stopped raining at 11. So it started at around 6, 7, and it stopped at around 11, 12. New York was completely shut down. It was over, bro. Water was coming up the sinks, up the spout, and flooding apartments like that. Crazy. That's how some apartments got flooded. 13 people died. Almost, I think it was 11 out of the 13 were in basement apartments. In Woodside, a family of like 4 people and a baby. They lived in the basement. The windows are at floor level, or like walking level. That's where those windows are. The windows burst in, and literally within a minute, the entire apartment got flooded. Nobody had enough time to get out of the house.
That's fucking crazy.
Literally, in less than a minute, the entire apartment flooded out. Super scary shit. The shit was like apocalyptic. You were looking outside, you're like, yo, shit. You could just tell with the amount of rain we were getting. I was like, yo, no, this is different. And even my area, a bunch of trees down. There was a tornado in New Jersey. That was fucking crazy. That shit tore up a bunch of houses over there. But that was like the highlight, I guess, of my week. Everything else other than that was just like the nicest, most beautiful sunshine days after that. Like it happened, I think, Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday were all like gorgeous. It's like the prettiest days I've ever seen. Very nice and cool. But yeah, that it was a little scary, noting that climate change is this fucking real and flooding can happen like that. Like flooding could just happen.
I want to say, Doey, when you've come down before, you've asked me why Texas doesn't have basements. And you were like, oh, it'd be so nice because it'd be nice and cool and it's hot up there. That's the reason Texas doesn't have basements. We're so prone to flash flooding that it's dangerous. It's dangerous as fuck to have that basement.
Yeah.
I do want to ask a question. In New York, how, if it's fucking flooded, right? How's the subways? Because you got to walk down the stairs. You can't, I'm assuming you can't go down there.
When you have the time, look it up. You could see videos. Bro, the subways were completely flooded. They had to shut down the subways completely to the point where not only did I not leave work until like 2 a.m, I had no way of getting home after that. There was no buses. No, dude, no, I wasn't going to bring my bike out in a hurricane. I looked at the weather. I was like, okay, probably not going to be riding my bike home tonight.
That would be the best way to ride your bike.
Absolutely.
In all elements.
Yeah. Next time I see that there's remnants of a hurricane coming to New York, fuck the Doppler, fuck all these assholes. I'm just going to call out. Bro. Fuck all these assholes.
I'm not saying that. You need to get to work.
I am. No,
I'm just saying.
Gonna call out. I'm
just saying, ride your bike in the storm.
What
do you think?
I don't think you understand how dangerous that is.
That seems like riding a big lightning rod to work.
No, not only that,
with an exploding battery on it.
Nah, you're not gonna get hit with lightning. You got all those tall.
It's not
buildings.
about getting hit with lightning.
The highest point.
Like branches were falling off of trees.
This will be the true testament to you bikers. This is the true testament. If you can survive, it's like that movie Dodgeball. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can ride a bike during a hurricane, a light hurricane behind you, you can dodge that and ride in that. You can ride in any type of weather, my G.
Except if you threw a fucking wrench at somebody in real life, they probably would get seriously fucking injured.
As long as you dodge it, you'll be fine.
You won't be injured if you dodge it.
I guess
the only reason why I'm saying dodge it is called quick reflexes. So in a bike, you gotta have. That's why your mans don't have brakes on his bike. That man's got he be practicing during these storms, bro. I guarantee you that motherfucker was out there riding his bike in this storm, dodging mad trees and shit, all types of shit.
Wait, is Tony suggesting that you can dodge lightning if you move fast enough?
I didn't say lightning. I said trees.
You know, when I was in first grade, my science teacher died because he got struck by a bolt of lightning.
That sucks.
Or really, I think a tree fell on him, but from a lightning strike in New York City. So it happens. It has happened.
Have you seen the scars people get when they're struck by lightning? That shit's nuts.
They survive?
Yeah, some people survive, and you can see like the lightning leaves a lightning-shaped scar on their body. Like it's crazy stuff, dude.
Yeah, there's a guy who got struck by lightning like 6 times or something.
Mm-hmm. At once?
No, like 6 different times in his life. He was alive. I think he might be.
That nigga's a dick. That nigga's a dick. What are you doing? You didn't learn the first time? My nigga? Just go inside. You got to go 5 more times to figure out. Hey, I think I should stay my ass inside when it's lightning.
Wait, if you were struck by lightning, you would never go outside when it's raining again? Is that how you would live?
I would have PTSD for the rest of my life. If I survive that shit, I might have powers. But if I don't, I'm keeping my ass inside, bro. What the fuck? You only got to hit me one time for me to learn something. Like, that's it. I'm not going to get hit 5 times.
you'd be surprised how many people would drive out into danger if the fucking government or news stations and shit told them not to. Like it's very important that like government and news and all these people are on top of this shit, because fucking humans are oblivious. We don't give a fuck about anything. We just know the shit we have to do that day. We're gonna go out and do it. And if the government is not like, yo, hold your fucking horses, it's about to be a lot of rain today, we're just gonna go out and get the shit done. Everybody. We're like, it's really crazy how humans behave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one thing I found kind of weird. I'm not trying to be all victim blaming here. It's more just curious. Like you mentioned the family that was like in the basement that got flooded in on. Like wouldn't like I don't know. I feel like in their shoes, like I would have been like, all right, it's raining pretty hard. Like you'd have to see the water level rise outside your window above. Like that to me would be like a clear indicator that we need to get the fuck up out of here. Like
yeah, it's just
maybe they were sleeping. It was at night, right?
It was around nighttime. It's the problem there is if you saw a video of how fast these basements were filling up with water, it was 2 grandparents, a baby, and the father, or something like that. It's just not enough time for people to get out.
No, for
and
sure.
like the furniture crushes you, and it's like there's not enough room and time to get out of your house.
I'm not saying like once the water's coming in, like unless like you're awake and ready to go, you're fucked.
Oh, I think they're probably doing mental math at this point, and they're like, I've got a baby, I've got two elderly people. Is the basement safer? And you're trying to weigh your options. Like maybe they didn't have anywhere else to go. Maybe
a lot of New Yorkers don't like bothering other people, and like they don't want to. So like they called the 3rd floor, and the 3rd floor told them, come upstairs now. And they're like, yo, the windows are breaking. And that was it. That's all that they heard from them. By the time they went downstairs to check on them, the whole entire house got flooded out. And it's just very fucking unfortunate. The shitty thing is like you'll always think about what you could have, should have done. I think with the amount of water we were getting per hour, I think maybe some people didn't like I said, if the government isn't telling you like, yo, shit is hitting the fan, get to higher levels ahead of time and stuff like that. If there's no preparement, a lot of people are gonna think like it's just a rainy day, normal shit. You know what I mean? Little did you know, in 2 hours, shit has hit the fan for you already, and it's like you're getting flooded. We got a lot of warnings on our phones, but I don't think that's enough, dude. I think you got to put warnings out way before these things happen.
What was the title of those warnings?
Flash floods, stuff like that.
I think
so. I
think people don't understand how serious flash floods are. Like we have so many warnings here in Texas. There's so many like campaigns that have talked about flash flooding here, because it used to be, I mean, it's still a huge issue, but people used to do some crazy shit during flash floods. They'd see a water crossing, like a bridge that was overtaken with water, and they would try to cross it. And sometimes you're crossing those bridges and you get across just fine. Sometimes you're going through a low water crossing like that, and the flash flood hits so quick that there's a literal wave of water that comes flooding down, and it will push your car off into the water, and you'll drown. You'll die. You will not come back. That water is moving so fast that you're fucked. But if you're not in a state that deals with that normally, you don't understand just how scary a flash flood can be.
Dude, the highways abandoned. All the cars got abandoned on the highway. We're talking about hundreds of cars, bro, just abandoned because people got stuck on the highway. The highways are not designed with sewers and sewage and shit like that, so there'll be dips. And dude, anything that is, you could be up on the mountain, you're in a basement, you're in something that has a dip, you're asked the fuck out. Like it was super crazy how fast like these areas filled up.
I am curious though. Back to the subway talk. If there's a flash flood and that shit's filled up, how do they drain those subway tunnels?
the subway tunnels, the drainage it's not made for it. The drainage can't drain at the rate of the water coming
I
on top
understand
of
that.
it.
I'm saying once it's all done, what does the city do to take all that water out? They just put mad pumps in there and pump it out to the street?
They have to pump everything out. They have to pump everything into a drain and stuff like that. Like they actually, I mean, I commend New York because the day after that shit, fucking all the departments were out there in full force. I do live in Manhattan though, and it's notorious for getting the best service, and everyone else kind of just has to eat shit.
But how's the Bronx doing? Are they still recovering?
The Bronx is up high.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
It's like up higher, so it didn't have as many issues. There still was a lot of flooding out there, but Brooklyn and Queens got it the worst.
Damn.
By far. New Jersey was under fucking water, bro. New Jersey was fucking horrible. So like those places got it a lot worse.
So your man Joe Budden got it all fucked up out there in Jersey?
Does he still live in Jersey?
I think friend of the pod, one of our homeboys on Twitter, who is that, Fox
Cabana.
Yeah,
Fox
he said
Cabana.
that I think he said his brother had a brand new car under like a foot of water out in New York.
No,
like a Hellcat.
A Hellcat, my nigga?
Yeah, no, I mean it's a flood. It don't matter whose car. The water doesn't like. Ooh, we're not gonna touch that Hellcat.
My nigga, that's an $80,000 car.
Mm-hmm.
Flooded.
That sucks, man.
I hope that nigga got gap insurance or some type of my neck. $80,000 in the water, my nigga.
The worst part about insurance is that there's all these clauses in the insurance that, like, bro, insurance fucking
fuck insurances, my nigga. Fuck insurances. Them shits is those are crooks, my nigga. All these insurance companies and pharmaceuticals, those are fucking crooks. I'm about to flip this whole podcast episode into
Did
fucking
you say
insurance
pharmacies?
Pharmaceuticals.
Oh, okay. Like insurance,
companies.
like basically insurance across the board, medical, house,
all them shits. Even for cars, my nigga. All those shits.
What about Geek Squad?
Fuck them too. Fuck them too.
I'm not gonna front though. I went to this You Break I Fix.
I've seen those places. It's the dumbest name in the world.
It's a stupid name, but they offer good service. Shout out You Break I Fix. I think it's like you could pay like $20 a month or something like that, and they'll fix anything. Anything you got. Your toaster broke, they'll fix that shit.
That's like, awesome.
This man Pucho's getting kickback over here.
You're gonna take your TV. I'm just saying. You're gonna take your TV like, over there.
I should go.
Shut it though. Yeah, I still need a couple more days till the end of the month, and then I'm gonna take the TV and be like, "Yo, I have this insurance, and guess what? The TV broke yesterday. Oh, interesting. One day into the policy where we can start replacing your thing. So yeah, basically, if they can't fix it, they'll replace it with the equivalent of something. So."
That's fine.
I have a few devices that look to be breaking pretty soon. So
maybe I should go work part-time for You Break I Fix. There's some things that I would like to learn how to fix. I really enjoy taking things apart.
They fix everything too. Like, I mean, I think they there's a website, iFixit.
Mm-hmm.
They basically figure out how to fix. Yeah, they're the best. They figure out how to fix anything, and then they just put it online for free. So then I think all these other companies just basically use all those manuals to build companies.
They're trying to outlaw that shit in a lot of fucking states. Fucking
I think
crazy.
They're losing big time because I think just recently, I don't know if it was federally or what, but basically like the whole right to repair movement is getting like they're getting like recognition from the government and shit. So they're forcing Apple and other companies like that to start publishing like the repair manuals and stuff for the stuff for like the any hardware that they sell.
Yeah, when I got the Apple Watch, I can't get it fixed. Like I took it to Geek Squad, they won't fix it. The repair, they won't fix it because they're saying that how the screen cracked or whatever, that the only way to fix it is that they're going to replace it for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, What type of shit is this? I'm buying shit that I can't get it fixed. Now it's cheaper for me to just go buy a newer one than it is to fucking.
See, Tony, this is why the Apple Care warranty is worth it. To respond to your little rant earlier about insurance companies.
No, I have Apple Care. Them dudes told me, "Oh, you just give it to us, and we'll just give you a newer one, but it's gonna take about 3 weeks."
Oh man, 3 whole weeks.
Nigga, you got like 6 boxes of Apple Watches right there. Just give me one of those. Fuck, I gotta wait 3 weeks for it. So you can give me a used one? Fuck out of here. I pay Apple Care insurance for what? I'll just take this one. Fuck it. Just walk right out the store.
I heard farmers got it bad too with the John Deere products. All the products that do farm work, they can't work on their own tractors and shit like that because they don't want to give them the manuals.
Yeah, I think that's really how the right to repair movement kind of got their foot in the door, is because all the farmers have to purchase all this like equipment, but they don't really own the equipment, and the companies that sell it still kind of own the equipment because most of it's leased. It's all expensive as fuck. So then they don't get any information on how to fix the equipment. The only people that are able to fix the equipment is the original manufacturers. They need to take it over there, and then it's a conflict of interest. They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do to maximize their profits.
Can I point out Tony's face up there? Because Tony got himself hot for a second there, ranting about his Apple Care watch.
Yeah, don't. Man, I'll go on a rant real quick and set shit off. We might get canceled. Fucking with me. I'll start shooting shots at all major companies. But anyways,
with gun, metaphorical, right?
Yeah. How was your weekend, Mateo, since Doughboy took over the weekend talk?
Oh man, we're not quite apocalypse level here, but Texas is fucked, man.
It's like Handmaid's Tale out there.
Texas is real fucked up right now, dude. You can just carry a gun around in public, can't get an abortion. It's all fucked up out here, and apparently it's spreading out your way. Florida, one of the members out there said they want to adopt a Texas-style abortion ban out there too.
Yep. It's gonna be terrible.
It's painful.
So that's fun.
That shit it's fucking unacceptable. You know what sucks though? I like to think of New York as a progressive place, and you'd like to think like it's New York City. Once you head out into upstate New York, all these fucking hicks, you start to hear the same type of rhetoric and all the same type of pro-life and all this bullshit. Bro, I'm sorry, bro. All you pro-lifers, you get fucked. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. You guys could fucking suck a dick.
Usually it's me making these rants into the camera. What? The energy flipped here today.
Yeah, I'm very sad about this, bro.
But to piggyback on that though, fuck you, Greg Abbott. You piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. Go get fucking run over.
Wait, so we're against pro-lifers now?
We're against Greg Abbott.
These are the people that push these laws forward.
In some ways, and this is why I'm different. In some ways, I can agree with some of those things, but not all of them. I like life. I understand there's certain circumstances where, and it's a woman's choice, right? We go back to it. Last episode, I already fucking told y'all my spiel on it, but it's a woman's choice. But for someone to just take that choice away and be like, nah, you ain't doing it. Like, Texas is a dick, first off. Second off, just to go right back in there, funny tweet or IG post from T.I. talk about woman's choice.
Oh, no.
And I'm thinking in the back of my head, like, yo, didn't you just get your daughter checked in the vagina to make sure she didn't have sex? And what are you talking about, woman's choice? And I'm just like that. This dude's doing the biggest backpedal, or he's just super contradicting himself. Like, how are you going to be like, oh, it's women's rights, women's choice, they get to pick, but yet you over here telling your daughter, I'm checking your vagina to see if you fucked. That's a beast.
And this is after she's 18. She's like well over 18 and he's still doing this shit.
Shit is beast. I don't know how.
And not even to say 18 is like an excuse, because that shit is weird even before 18. But it's like, dude, you're still doing it. You know what fucking sucks? Damn, I lost my point. I don't know why. Here it goes. I don't know why being straight, Christian, whatever you like to call these people, why the fuck do they worry and hate so many people outwardly. I don't hear gay people talking about straight people like, yeah, we shouldn't let them do this and we shouldn't let them do that. It's fucking 5 a.m. and this nigga Boosie was commenting on all his social media about fucking Lil Nas X being pregnant. Nah, yo, he's distraught over Lil Nas X. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, what's wrong with straight people? What's wrong with Christians? You niggas, all you want to do is point outwards how everyone else is living and how everyone else is doing shit wrong. Like, bro, I can't take it anymore. Like, I don't want to associate myself with those type of people. That shit is so fucking hateful and oppressive. Like, yo, fuck you guys. So, I don't want to fuck with any of you niggas. Any of y'all. Why are y'all so worried about everyone else, bro? Worry about your fucking self.
That's a fact. I saw some people posting on Facebook pictures of Lil Nas X and asking questions for people. Like, and I wanted to comment and stuff, but I feel like Facebook isn't like
it ain't a place for people to learn. They would have dogpiled you and told you you're going to hell. You want to know what I wanted to post right after I saw that? I want to be like, no. I wanted to say to all like the Christians and to all the people that go to church. I was like, yo, somebody told me that I had a special place in hell waiting for me. I just want to know where am I going?
The VIP lounge, bud.
You know what I mean?
Party it up.
Somebody told me I had a special place in hell. Does any of you know where I'm going?
See, Fucho, I disagree. Facebook is my favorite place to argue with people on the internet. I actually enjoy doing it more on Facebook than I do on Twitter. I don't really argue on Twitter, but Facebook, I'll argue with some random weirdos on the local news site. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
My problem with the whole Facebook thing, I don't mind. I like it, but it's just like, I don't know. I think people have, it's not just Facebook, it's just reading in general. I think people have trouble reading. So you write words and then they don't comprehend anything you wrote. They respond to something else. Mm-hmm. Or some other person hops in and says something, and then you respond to that person, but the other person is just like, yeah, they co-sign the other guy. And it's like, this shit is just a whole like strange setup where nobody's really there to have any kind of conversation. It feels everybody just wants to have a circle jerk. Like, I don't know. Yep. I found it very strange. Like, I feel like it isn't like the whole point of all this like Christianity shit to find peace within yourself and all that shit. That shit sounds cool to me. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the whole like why you gotta walk around and like try to vilify everybody else and shit. Like, I don't know. That shit doesn't seem very godly to me. But I mean, I guess I don't know. Allegedly, I guess, because we could get into a whole spiel about how there's all types of crazy shit that happen.
This is the religion episode.
I'm sorry. Maybe they'll call me an apostate. All right, in my religion, because of the way I'm talking down about Christianity and shit.
What is an apostate?
Yeah, that's
an apostate is somebody who leaves the religion and then starts to talk bad about it. We're like the devil.
Oh, y'all are like Mormons then, huh? Because don't the Mormon people get excommunicated? They can't talk to their family anymore and all that shit.
Huh? Yeah, that is Jehovah's Witness. It is very cult-like, super culty. Like, there's a lot of elements in there that are very culty and not healthy and life-ruining in some aspects. I didn't celebrate a birthday till I was 16. That's where the whole dancing circle comes in. I just was like, I saw everyone else doing it, and I was like, yes, I want to do that. Like, I was like,
it's actually funny because I had Jehovah's knock on my door one time, and I don't think they have never came back since then. Because I told them, I was like, listen, you guys are a cult. My friend never had a birthday party. Now he walks around sad and depressed all day because of your cult-like Jehovah's Witness groups. Sir, I don't know what. I don't like you. Don't come back to my house. Have a nice fucking day. Shut the door. They never came back. Never.
I don't like you.
Do you know that they so basically when they have a bad interaction with someone like that, they'll write your your shit down to not stop there. So then the next
That's
time that they're
perfect.
preaching, they don't stop at your door because they know. But it's like a list. So like every other year you get taken off the list and they'll knock
Oh
Get
my
back
Just
on
to
the
God.
nice
see-
list.
just to see if somebody else is living there.
Damn,
Because
we're getting secrets of the Jehovah Witness Brotherhood here on this.
oh yeah. And guess what? When they do send you back the second time, they send the child so that you can't curse this little child out.
I will
like,
curse
yo-
a child out all day.
Yeah.
I might walk out there with a thong on, be like, "Yo, what up?" They
I'd love
might
to
be
see
scared.
this.
Tony's
They
just
might
got
be
a
scared.
thong already.
No, I don't. I might have to buy one.
I fucking hated preaching. Fuck preaching. All right. I hated that
You
shit.
was a little nigga walking out the
Bro,
door preaching.
Yes. How do you think I know all this shit? Yes, man. I hated that shit. Fuck preaching.
Shit is the
Fuck
worst.
waking up at fucking 7 a.m. That ass crack of dawn to hand out some fucking
That's not that
pamphlets.
early. That's not that early.
7 a.m. for a 5-year-old? Well, it's not. 5-year-olds. I'm
5-year-olds
up
wake up
already.
super early.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
early, yeah, I
that was
know.
a bad
I
fucking.
was already like,
Right.
yeah. Well, anyways, fuck that. I
Tony,
wanted to watch
save us.
Saturday morning
Too deep.
cartoons.
Just save
All
us.
right, I wanted Saturday morning cartoons. Just use this as the.
Are you saying Tony save us to get us to the topic?
Yo, yeah, that's what it was like. My weekend was good, by the way. I had a haircut, just real quick in for me. That was my weekend. I had a haircut. Boom.
Yo,
What?
by the way, my nephew went and got a haircut.
Brian?
No. And he said that he experienced barber wars. He had to get he was stranded in New York, right? Because with the COVID shit, like flights got canceled, or I think it was a different hurricane or some shit like that. He got stranded in New York and his hair was a little rough, so he had to get a haircut. But then when he came back, he was all stressing out. He's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna see my barber. He's gonna know that I got a haircut." And dude, he's 14 years old. He's dealing with this shit. These barbers need to stop. This shit is out of control.
Shit is a
Nobody needs this
pressure.
type of pressure in their life.
You know what?
Like, you're a barber. Cut my hair. Like, why are we having all this drama?
You know what? No
Like-
one else is talking about this except for the One Up podcast. That is a One Up
Yeah.
podcast exclusive.
It is, and when it becomes a popular topic, you guys know who did it first.
That's a fact.
Well, this will bring us right into our topic. If you could do so, how would you change the world?
Make all these barbers get along, dude.
Yeah, that shit would save everybody a lot of stress.
Free barber cuts for every man and woman. Free salons. Free barbers.
So how
Nobody
are
has
they
to
getting
pay.
paid? How are they getting
By the
paid?
government.
By the government.
Oh, tax dollars. Perfect.
So, yeah, we're socializing barbering.
Hey, I
That
think a UBI would be a good idea.
What's a UBI?
Universal basic income. It is a guaranteed amount of money that you get every month from the government.
Communism.
It's the Yang Bucks.
This
It
nigga
is-
said communist.
It is the Yang bucks. There's a lot of futurists that have theorized that eventually a UBI it will happen. It's not an if. It will happen because we're automating so many tasks and so many jobs. Eventually, so much of the workforce is just not going to be able to find work. Jobs are just not going to exist. Dummies like me and Pucho that got into the tech industry will still be working because we're dummies and someone's going to have to fix this shit and program this shit. But a lot of other jobs just not going to exist, and a UBI is going to become a fact of life. It's going to be required.
Yeah, they've been saying for a long time that my job of concierge doorman, they're like, yo, you guys are fucking out of here. I mean, I don't know how, you know what I mean? They're going to work that out, but it's kind of the truth. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can see that happen.
Oh, Tony will still have work too. He's a mechanic. We'll need people fixing shit that breaks. Dowie will have to become a bartender because you can't replace a bartender with a robot. You need that human interaction.
I don't know. You get that perfect pour.
I think you need that human interaction. I think that's the whole point of the bartending.
I think that's still what saves the concierge, because I feel like in reality, like, is there a need for someone to greet you. It's like probably there's not really a need, but it's nice. People like it. And that's, people, if you got money and you desire something like that, it's going to come into existence. Like,
there's also security aspects. And with a big lobby, how do you determine who's coming in, who's not, who lives there, who doesn't, stuff like that, packages incoming. You just have to have a whole setup for that before you, and none of these buildings are ready for that shit.
Elon Musk is dropping that Tesla robot.
Yeah, but the Tesla robot's got a weak ass deadlift, man. That robot's bullshit.
I don't know, man. This might be like a Will Smith iRobot, one of his classic movies.
That robot only deadlifts 150. You can't respect that robot.
I'm ready to have some robots around.
You want robot sex?
He wants robot sex.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but that's definitely an upside of robots.
Well, they can't complain.
Sex.
You just put them away back into their
Hot
corner.
Robot sex, yeah, with dookie smeared on their face. I'm like, all right, go back in the closet.
Whoa.
Yo, cancel your subscription to Pornhub, bro. You're looking at some weird shit. But back to the topic. What would you guys fucking change?
They're talking about UBI, Universal Basic Income.
We were on
one thing though that I found interesting is I used to subscribe to the thought that like eventually there will be no jobs, and maybe that is the truth, but I wonder sometimes how far from that we really are. Like, I feel like every time we've had like these big like technological advancements, everybody was like, "Oh man, that's it! Like this is the end. That's it. Technology's so advanced." Like, but it turns out that all this new technology creates a lot of opportunities as well. Like just the idea of like a car existing produces like truckers being the most common job in America is being a trucker. Like that's the job most Americans have. Well, sorry, not most Americans have it, but it's the biggest number of jobs in the country are truckers, and it's just because vehicles exist. So it's like, prior to a vehicle existing, everybody was like, "Oh man, they're making cars. Like, what are these horses? Or like now we can't use these horses or these carriages. What are they gonna do?" And all this stuff. And it's like literally we created like. Now we transport goods from one side of the country to the other side of the country all the time because it's possible now. So like I wonder, like every time these advancements of technology occur, like what are going to be like the new ways that we use that technology that we aren't able to foresee right away, Like when we thought of the internet, nobody thought of Twitch and shit like that existing. Like, when we were just happy to fucking chat with people and stuff like that. So I don't know. I do think at some point, like technology is going to be so advanced that some people don't have to work. But I wonder how far out from that we really are.
It depends on when we hit the singularity, right? The singularity is that point where like the AI machine learning shit becomes so advanced that it can produce enhancements and things at a rate faster than humans can, right? I think that's the basic definition of it. There's a lot more intricacies to it. I've got a book on the singularity back there. I haven't read that book in a minute.
So basically it's like a task for like an emulator to like find the fastest routes and the fastest gameplay types, but just for like real life.
Yeah, essentially. Like it's a computer that is so smart and so capable of learning that it can improve itself, and it can improve itself faster than humans can improve itself. So it just becomes technology just gets this spike. That's called the singularity. Is this advancement spike in technology is just shoots straight up, and that's the point where we like a lot of jobs start becoming pointless and useless, and that's supposed to be the technological like jump. But I have no idea how close we are to that. I mean, technology has advanced a lot. You look back at like 80s technology, 50s technology to here, and then look at the previous thousands of years of human existence. Our technology is happening at an accelerated rate.
And that's a spike for all intents and purposes. If you take our timeline of existence to now, and then track like however you're going to track the technology, because I mean there's a lot of booms throughout history, like agriculture, aqueducts, like fucking wells and drainage, like all this stuff is actually super advanced like technology that people lived for millions of years without, but
that's where Skynet starts kicking in and realizing that, humans are the cause of everything. Eliminate all humans. And then we're all dying one by one, and I become John Connor, and I try to save the world. Shit's crazy out here.
Like, so you're gonna wake up one day and bam, are you gonna look like John? Like, how do you become John Connor?
I'm gonna have all his skill sets. I'm gonna be
But
me.
even his name. Wait, you're gonna be you?
I'm gonna be me, but I'm gonna have his skill sets. They might call me Caballo Connor. Double C.
I watched Terminator 2 this week.
Is that your favorite?
Probably, yeah.
I knew it.
The first Terminator's so good. It's so amazing, but I think Terminator 2 has a little bit more heart, and I like the little bit of like heart that it tosses into there. But I've got a question. I've got a question about T2, and it's a ridiculous question, but I think it fits right on.
I like it.
I tweeted about it, and I didn't get an answer. Why does the T800 have a penis? And I know that he has a penis. I've got proof. Because when he walks into that bar, women are checking him out and they're looking him up and down. No one is screaming, "Oh my God, why are you smooth like a Ken doll?" or anything like that. They're checking out this guy. So obviously he's got a penis. What purpose was there for them to make a penis on the T800?
So the Terminator's job is to disguise and assimilate.
To blend in.
But what situation would he be assimilating where he's naked?
They're making it as realistic.
The time machines, they can't take any type of clothing for whatever reason. Only organic matter makes it through.
Oh.
So that's why they have to go through naked. Even in the very first movie when Kyle Reese shows up, he's butt booty naked. He runs into the clothing store, steals a pair. What he steals? Air Forces? Dunks?
I think it was Dunks.
He takes a pair of Nikes and puts it to his foot, like to check the size. It's an iconic scene. That shit is fire.
I remember that. Yeah.
But even in that movie, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a dick. He runs up on the guys, he fucks them up, and he steals their clothes.
Yep.
And they were not fucking weirded out. That he had a fucking smooth Ken doll crotch. You know, he definitely had a big boy cock swing, Terminator cock. He had to have. They were intimidated.
Yeah,
Arnie's a big guy. He's intimidating off rip, but he's a Terminator, so you gotta have a Terminator dick, like just in case.
It does take a special kind of confidence to be completely naked and threaten like 3 dudes. You're gonna beat the shit out of them, like that.
I wouldn't want to fight a naked guy.
That is a man that is not afraid of anything. If you are willing to fight naked against 3 people, there's no fear. There's nothing in this life that is gonna faze you.
Yeah, you're either a crackhead or you're fucking like you got the skill sets of Bruce Lee or Jet Li, all these motherfucking Lees, and then you're getting your ass kicked.
Getting your ass kicked by a naked man. That is a sight for sore eyes. Could you imagine him putting you in some type of headlock and then that shit just swinging on your back?
He's got your head and he's bringing it close to your crotch, and it's like you're fucking troubled. You're like fucking choking to death, but also you don't want a cock in your face, so you're like, like
I'd start biting. I'd start biting. No, whatever I can bite. Because I'm close to skin. Break that skin.
The man's right. Like that, you gotta like. Okay, now we're super off tangent.
Yeah, super off.
I mean, we're talking about how the world can be changed through certain self-defense techniques against naked people. This isn't a problem that has occurred yet, but maybe when people stop working, once the UBI is kicking in, maybe you're just gonna have a whole bunch of naked people walking around and threatening people with their life. You never know. That's all I'm saying.
How would you change the world, Pooch?
All right. I feel like the world is a little bit too big of a scope in my mind. But I think the main problem is education. Education's all type of fucked. Throughout the entire world, like just looking at a lot of third world countries and things like that, basically people don't even go to school for the most part unless you have money. Like you got to, a lot of these countries you got to pay to go to school. A lot of people don't have money, so they can't even go to school to begin with, and then they're kind of stuck in their space, and it's a very cyclical issue. In America, it's not much different either. Like we have public school, but the way public schools get their funding in most states is through property taxes. So if you live in a rich neighborhood, the taxes are higher because the values of the homes are higher, and thus the schools around that region get a lot more money. That means they could afford laptops and iPads and all types of shit. If you live in a poor neighborhood, the property taxes aren't so high, so you got schools that don't have a good budget.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it just means that if you're born poor in a poor neighborhood, you're gonna go to a poor school, you're gonna get a poor education, and more likely than not, you're gonna stay poor. I personally feel like that education, both around the world, but namely, I don't know the details too much around every fucking country or whatever. But in America, I feel like the education system, I mean, I personally think that it should just, I don't know, either even, or there should be, a bigger redistribution of funds. Like maybe some schools don't need like a crazy, maybe, we could take all those 10 out of 10 schools, make them 9 out of 10 to bring up all these lower schools to be like, more passable or whatever. Like something like that needs to happen, because the way it's just not fair, and it's just producing like, cyclical problems.
So you want to distribute the wealth evenly through the school system, so better education is readily available for everyone.
Yeah,
I like that. That's pretty good, because education is key for the future.
Absolutely, most important thing.
You know what I mean? That's damn, that's a fucking good one, Pooch. Shit, I like that one. I mean, because at the end of the
too, if you look at like the impacts of having like a bad education, it's just like people, like you go to like it's just crazy. If you look into how like multifaceted all these problems are, it's like the level of education just alone, that thing, you could predict so many outcomes, which is why I don't really believe in there's a lot of people that talk all this like personal choices and all these to me is just a lot of bullshit, in my opinion.
Personal choices as what?
Like I think people are more predictable than you think. So I think if X thing happens to you, you're gonna do Y thing 99 times out of 100. It's possible you do something different, but the likelihood is you're always gonna end up doing the same thing. And so for that reason, I think why when you look at poor neighborhoods, they have a certain set of problems that are pretty common to a lot of poor neighborhoods. Crime, violence.
Well, I mean, crime's an economic issue. Like, yeah, that's the root of it. Is crime is an economic issue.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. So yeah, I think if you could fix the education, you could fix the economics around poor people. Then you fix their living conditions, and it'll fix their children. Then they're gonna have children that get to grow up in a better situation than they grew up, and their outcomes should be better.
Maybe
on average, of course, it's not going to be that case for everybody, but
maybe people wouldn't be trusting in getting their science from people in MAGA hats yelling into cameras instead of healthcare professionals, and we wouldn't be in the midst of I don't even know which wave of the pandemic this is at this point.
Yeah, it's like the third or fourth wave. It really sucks too, because it's insane that people don't want to get vaccinated. I find this shit absolutely baffling.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically we're not going to reach herd immunity, so we're going to hit like waning immunity, which means that the virus is going to go away for like 9 months, 12 months, 18 months. It's going to come back and kill a couple, thousand, tens of thousands of people. Then it's going to go away, and that cycle is going to keep repeating because not enough people want to get vaccinated.
Yep. So we got a new flu now, basically. Remember all these dummies? They said it's just the flu, and they made it happen.
Yep.
I guess they were right after all. They turned it into the flu.
It's really fucked up. And I think it has something to do with the way that you say humans are predictable. And I feel like if you give somebody an excuse to not do something, they'll fucking latch onto that so fucking quickly. Because human beings, I don't know, we're not that productive sometimes in that manner. I know some very educated people saying some very stupid things on the internet. I'm like, whoa. It's made me not like a lot of people. Just a lot of people. I'm like, ooh, you're a dummy. Like, you're stupid. I just it's icky. It's just so sad.
What are these fucking words?
Like a second grader?
Icky, ooey, gooey. My bad.
What did you say? The dummies? You're a dummy.
You're a dummy wummy. You're icky wicky.
Icky wicky. Okay.
Anyways, sad. It's sad how fucking misinformed some people are, and they just are cool with it.
What about you, Doe? What would you want to change?
I mean, personally, I think for me, for my own issues and my stuff like that, I just think as far as healthcare goes, Medicare, insurance, stuff like that, I don't think any of that should be on anyone to pay. Universal healthcare, that shit is sanctioned by the government or find some way to get people help who need help. I think that a lot of the funds should go into different ways of helping either drug addicts or mentally ill people figure out a lifestyle and a way of life, whether that be like a nursing home for mentally ill people so that they can still be capable, but there's ways for them to live, because you know what I mean? It's just, we got to figure this shit out. It's becoming too much of an issue. And I don't think, charging people for shit and making this capital based, I don't know if it's a good thing to make the people that are supposed to save your lives care about how much money you have in your pocket and what your money can do for their hospital and this and that. Like the fact that some people who need really bad transplants very badly and are gonna die, the people who have more money in that case usually get the transplants first, because you can make a charitable donation to the hospital, and that charitable donation will push you up on the list.
Huh.
Yeah.
And it's like a fact that this happens a lot.
I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, I didn't have no idea.
You can
I've
make
heard of
it.
it, but I don't know how true it is. I've heard of it. I just never know how true it is.
Yeah.
I've heard of this shit, right? People say it, but
Okay, I've heard people say this. I'm saying I've never read that this is a actual thing.
I've also never gone to look to read if it's an actual thing or not, though.
Correct.
So
Yeah, so
it just feels like this would be like an insane, like people threw a huge fucking shit show because some people, surprise, surprise, are able to pay their way into college. Like that was the whole thing, that people lost money, got sued over, and all that. Like this is like people's. I feel like this would be like a massive fucking story. But sorry, keep going, Doy. I'm not.
It's more normal than you think. It's more normalized than you think. It's something that has been happening for a long time. And yeah, I think that aspect should be free. I think there's a lot of things. I think that there's things that I think women's feminine products should just be free. I think there's a lot of things in life that should either be subsidized or just free, flat out free.
So how do people get paid? How do the doctors and nurses, people who've paid for college to get the degrees and shit, how do they get paid? So they
the same way the military gets paid trillions of dollars a year, the government.
I mean, the taxpayers.
Yeah, take $1 trillion away from fucking the military and just put it into hospitals. Build more hospitals.
And Medicare for All would not necessarily say that there wouldn't be like bougie specialty doctors or anything like that. I don't think. I think that I've heard like that that there's the capacity for those systems to like still exist for like crazy rich people procedures that aren't actually like medically important procedures.
You know what that means? Fucking plastic surgery would be fucking free too. Ooh, that would be sexy. Me, all plastic surgeryed out.
What would you change? What would
cock enhancement right away? Cock enhancement, breaking my shins. Shins are gonna get broken. I'm gonna get taller in this bitch. Sorry guys, y'all gonna have to look up to me. What else? What else can I do?
You can maybe make your pigmentation redder, right? You're into that.
Oh yeah, I definitely want that Rosie Perez, that rosy skin, rosy cheeks. I don't know, maybe hair transplant. Get some of these pubes on the back of my head.
Okay. So Tony, what would you change? What change would you make?
I do. Sorry, before we move on to the next idea, I do think I wouldn't go so far personally to say like all type of medical procedures would be free, but I feel like there's like I'm actually on board mostly with what Doe was saying. It's basically like you have elastic goods and inelastic goods. Like there's things that people need no matter what, no matter how expensive it gets. Like they just have to have it no matter what. Like that would be like an inelastic good. Whereas like if the phone posits, sneakers or whatever went up in price times 5, it's like, well, people would just stop buying them because a lot of people just wouldn't be able to afford no more, and it wouldn't really change life for pretty much anybody, right? And that's like an elastic good. I feel like all those inelastics, the necessities, I think you could make a strong case that they should be free.
Yeah, and like
So even so
insulin
far
for
as like
people.
like a basic level of like food, where you're getting like some number of veggies, meats, like some kind of balanced diet or whatever, right? Like that, water, all the basic things that everybody needs, like they should be free. Like even like Doy's saying, like the medical procedures, like anything that's like a necessity, yeah, it probably should be free. Like you don't want people to be like dying because they can't fucking get medical care,
Mhm.
or
Absolutely
going
not.
into stupid debt. Which I mean, people in America, it doesn't happen too much where people can't get the care. It's really that
Or
they don't get the care because they can't afford it, which is
and the
it's
mentally
stupid,
ill,
man.
or housing for mentally ill, because a lot of super mentally ill people are homeless and shit like that. So I think those two things go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Some sort of housing, some sort of a way of living for them. I don't know what that is, but I think if we don't try to do something, we'll never fucking know, and we'll keep using that excuse of like, oh, they're there for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
the
Like
housing
to-
situation is
and
fucked.
and then we won't have people like Tony making people tap dance for a fucking change on the highway exits.
Wow. Just because I'm supplying people with money for their time, I'm a puppet master. I'm making these people do shit. Fuck out of here. You want to stand in the corner all day long? Cool. Be my guest. Want my money? Show me a magic trick. Do something. I don't care. Give you money. It's my money. I can do what I want with my money. And so for me,
I thought he was
what
going to
I
call.
would
I
change.
thought he was going to call himself a job maker.
The government. I would want to change the whole government system around 100%. Like
Damn.
get rid of this Democrat bullshit, get rid of this fucking Republican bullshit, get rid of this fucking liberal bullshit, get rid of all these bullshits.
The lib cucks?
And one fucking united front.
Communism?
Get all these people. No. Get rid of all these money hungry, backdoor paying motherfuckers, all these political fucks that are fucking views are all fucked up and they're money hungry. Get rid of all of them. Clean house. One system where it's clean cut across the board, and we don't got to worry about people doing favors for favors or hiding shit and blackmailing other people so they can't do right for the people.
I'm kind of on board with this. He'd say he wants to get rid of lobbyists. It seems like.
I'm down for that.
I think that an actual true democracy would be cool. So we get rid of this electoral college nonsense, and it's just you vote, and the person with the most votes fucking wins. I think that'd be
like
cool.
for presidency?
Mm-hmm.
But there can only be one true leader.
Oh, well, I guess we're doing a dictatorship. What? I'm off board
like
now.
What the fuck?
I was trying to see if you guys would agree. I was trying to see if you guys can agree with my dictatorship. I would be the true leader.
No, I think what you're saying is nice. Like it would be nice if that could exist, but it's like, how do you do it?
Make lobbying
like even
illegal.
You saying get rid of all this Democrat and Republican bullshit. It's like the Democrats and Republican, they're not the government.
No, but I'm saying like the government. In the government, there are fucking people
who subscribe to beliefs.
Let's get rid of all these beliefs, right? And the way to get rid of it is clean house, one by one by one. Go through each department and cleanse it. And everybody needs to pick for the right of the people. not what they feel like is good, not put their own views or interests in it because they're going to get a kick or anything like that. That's how it's being run right now. Clean cut. Let's fix shit that's really need to be fixed, and let's keep it, you know what I'm saying, neutral. Don't put your own beliefs into it. Don't put religion into it. What is right, it was right. What's wrong, it's wrong. I get it, and it's really impractical. I don't think that would ever happen. But
I'm on board with a lot of this. You got me with like getting rid of the electoral college system, making lobbying illegal, taking church completely out of the fucking government.
Absolutely.
Churches should pay taxes. There's my hot take.
Absolutely. Fuck yeah. Right here. Fucking give my school some money. Give my local school some money. No, man. It's unfortunate. Very quickly, gonna say this. A lot of people are gonna hate me for it. Churches are like a vacuum to bad neighborhoods, and they just suck all the finances out of people's fucking pockets.
100%.
They're in all the poor areas like liquor stores are, and they feed off of poor people, and that they're literally off the backs of poor people.
Damn, so. you got pawn shops, liquor stores, gun shops, and then the church right next door.
Yep.
That, not gonna lie, that's a couple. Yeah, that shit is actually like that for real. Some spots, just all in one street, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, man. I think the government needs to be brought down, fixed, rebuilt correctly.
We're gonna get kicked off YouTube if someone clips just that first part of that statement. I think the government needs to be brought down
and rebuilt. Like, it's crazy, bro. I mean, you got a lot of people in government that have some really crazy views, and they rub elbows with other people, and it's just, bro. There's a lot of things that these fuckers do behind doors that we don't know shit about that affects us majorly. Any decision, any government decision, any warfare. This is all in government, bro. All these people, they think our votes count. Yeah, our votes count to a certain degree, but them boys are the puppet masters. There's somebody in the government that runs the government.
Oh my god! All right.
Yeah, you don't like to hear that shit, Pooch, because you're a capitalist.
You had me at your other comment that already. I'm not a fan of it, but. Then what you're talking about, the fucking Patriots? Like, this is Metal Gear? Like, there's a committee of people that actually run the Nah, Tony, don't say that to people. All right, look. Your vote counts, and it's the most important thing that you do as an American. You literally just said your vote counts.
You can hit the rewind. Hit the rewind. I said your vote counts, but there's people leading those people that you're picking to vote.
Go out and vote. Because I would say to piggyback, if you want all these changes, or if you want something close to all this, a way to achieve this, right? Because that's the part that I'm most curious about. Because you're saying all the stuff that you want, not how you would change, anything, right? I think compulsory voting, basically forcing everybody to vote. Have like a voting day and force everybody to go and vote.
But that'd be shitty too, because then people won't do the research to who to vote for. They'll just that's beast. That you'll get a lot of stupid votes like that.
Doesn't matter. Why does that matter?
We get a lot of stupid votes right now.
And they're still not fixing it. That's not fixing the issue.
Because everybody will go and vote, and then everybody would. It doesn't matter. They're gonna pick someone. Who they pick wins. That's what matters. So why do you care how? Like, you don't care how people spend their money. Why do you care how people vote? Let them vote the way that they're gonna vote.
Because their money spending is not affecting me. The way they're voting is going to affect me.
Yeah, but it affects you right now. People are already voting for things that are against your interest.
Some people say that how you spend your money is the only thing that matters. Like, that's what causes the most change in the world, is what companies and what things you choose to support financially.
Put it like this. If Pucho's idea, right? Everybody's forced to vote. Okay, cool.
Australia does that.
So,
yeah.
They do?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think people should be given that day off, and everybody has to go vote.
Yep.
That sounds good to me.
If you don't go vote, tax the living shit out of them.
Yep. Fines.
I thought Doey was going to say that everyone should have bicycles and we should get rid of all cars.
That'll be a vote.
I thought that's how he was going to change the world.
Yeah, changing the world one bicycle at a time. But listen, if you don't want to ride a fucking bicycle, don't ride a bicycle. Just respect people and their choices.
All right, we're on a bike.
We're not going on a bike. Bike wars again. I thought we ended at like 17 episodes ago. All I'm saying is, Pucho, based off your idea, that shit is ridiculous.
Why do you think it's ridiculous?
because you're just making people vote, and people are just going to go with the tide. People are going to go with the current. They're not going to do their own research. Right now, the only people that are voting are people who are somewhat doing their own research, somewhat better than being forced to. You're going to have some Joe Smo go be forced to vote on this day. He's going to be like, hey, who do you voted for? All right, bet. Vote. And then, like, that's just countless votes.
That all that matters. Everybody in America, you're saying that you don't even realize how hot your take is. You're saying that only certain people should be allowed to vote. That's really what you're saying.
No.
Yes.
Anybody should vote. Everybody should vote.
Okay, that's my law. That's my rule.
No, you're saying everybody should be forced to vote.
Yeah, everybody has to vote.
No, I don't.
You're saying if you don't do your research, you shouldn't be allowed to vote.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that if you force people to vote, right? You're forcing people to vote. They're not going to do the research. They're just going to vote blindly. What some people do now, right?
Yes,
some people do that. Yeah. But you're not forcing them. So the people who ain't voting, yeah, they're about as useless as a fucking seagull in the desert. Cool. Useless fucks out there, right? Bet. But you forcing them to vote now? What's going to happen? You're going to have a vote that shouldn't even be there that would change the tide of a whole entire thing.
Wait, pause. I want to go back to this useless as a seagull in the desert thing that you drop so casually, like it's just a thing that people say.
A seagull belongs in the sea. If it's in the desert, that's a useless fucking bird now in the desert. Because it's not a seagull. It's a fucking regular bird.
It's a sand gull.
Sand gull, yeah. Put that on the fucking in the short cast. All I'm saying is it's just useless, bro. Right? I
think it's useful.
Useless.
Right now in this country, what happens is like 50% of the country goes out and votes, or like 40-something%, right? How do you know who anybody really wants as president if everybody doesn't participate? Like, there'll be no complaints. If everybody goes out and votes and say Trump wins the election, it's like, dude, that's the person that most people wanted. Granted, there's still some intricacies with the electoral college that kind of swings things in, some slight direction, but it would be the biggest impact. It's just if everybody went out and voted, there'd be little to no complaints. So it doesn't matter it doesn't matter how much research anybody does. They chose it. That's their right. That they have a right to go out and choose whoever the fuck they want.
I think a better way to go out, and I would agree with you on this part, for yes, everybody needs to go vote on this day, but at the same time, everybody needs to do a research before, like, make a website where they say, like, who you want to choose, this is their ideas, these are their views, and make them read it before they fucking answer and see if they agree or align themselves with that view. Just don't hit a button to go vote. That's different.
No. I think they could protest vote, though. Like, that's fine. They could go in and write in Harambe if they want. That's cool.
That's fucking stupid.
What you're suggesting is what they used to do to black people. Like, they used to make them almost take like a political test before they allowed them to vote.
Yeah, I think there were literacy tests and shit like that they would make them take.
Not really. I just want them to have the information. I want the information there on the screen for them so they can be like, dude, my views align with this shit. That's it. And then, mind you, also, we're forgetting a big thing here. It's not just voting for the president either. Do your fucking local state voting as well. Those are key things. The governor, shit. Like, all those shits are fucking important. That's probably more important than almost doing the president shit.
It is.
So, you know what I mean? Like, that... An agreement to making people, forcing them to vote, sure, but let's put it on the screen for them. This is all his views and what he's trying to bring to the table. This is this person's views of what they're trying to bring to the table. What aligns with you? What do you agree with? And vote from there.
I would be on board with that if there were actual, like, nonpartisan way to go about doing that. But people are flawed and we suck. And I don't know that we have the ability to do a nonpartisan list of actual viewpoints. And politicians lie. It's what they do. And I mean, you can look at damn near any politician and you can find conflicting statements during their campaign runs.
Yeah, but the beauty of everybody voting is that who cares if the politician lied if people vote for him in? Like, it doesn't matter. Like Trump said some of the worst shit in the world and he got elected president. Like, the people picked him. Like it's sad. You know, us people that didn't want Trump to win, you know, we were upset, but it's the rules of the game. Like, he won the game. Like, the game was set up. We all knew the rules. We all participated. And he won.
Mhm.
And it sucks. But at the end of the day, does it matter that the grab him by the pussy guy won? Does it really matter, like, in the sense of, like, you know, that he said that, so he shouldn't have won? Or it's like, I mean, the only way you could change is to go out and vote. And if he wins, then he won. Like, that's it. That's just the way it plays out. And it sucks, but what the fuck could you do? You could change the rules, but that would suck too. It would be way worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I personally think make everybody vote. And you'll get a lot of the things that you're asking about. All these guys that get caught lying, I think a lot of people vote them out. The reason they don't get voted out is because the people who vote right now is in their best interest for those people to be around.
And young people don't vote.
Young people don't vote.
Actually, young people voted a lot.
It's still pretty small. Like it was a record percentage of young people voting in the last two elections, I think, but it was still fucking low. Like 60-plus-year-old people blow them out of water every goddamn time.
Yeah.
That's why I can't wait for those people to hit the fucking kick the bucket. Then we're gonna be in this bitch and we're gonna be making the decisions.
I'm calling you out, Zoomers. Go vote. Stop not voting, you dicks.
Yeah, it's because people say shit like your vote doesn't matter, it doesn't count. There's people running the government anyway. Is that people say shit like that?
It's those dead ass Tony. It's those elitist talks. Oh, we can't control anything because the people at the top
ain't about elitist. It's what is factual and what is actual.
You're giving a people a way out. You're giving
I'm
a
not
people
giving
like,
nobody
oh, it doesn't
anything.
matter.
I'm not giving nobody shit. It matters. Your vote does matter. I'm just saying the two options they give you, those fucks are being controlled.
You're giving way more than two options.
Go vote
in the
people.
primaries. There's like a dozen people to pick.
Y'all motherfuckers need to vote. Go and fucking vote. If you want change, you are the change that must change shit.
I was
going somewhere with that, but
I got two more changes before we swap topics, because I feel like we're probably.
I got one too.
I was about to swap that shit.
We'll do quick. No discussion ones. Maybe super minimal discussion. First off, birth control should be free. Like condoms should be subsidized by the government for in some amount for young people, maybe under 18, maybe under 25 or something. Birth control should be free. Like it should be covered by the government. I think that goes with the Medicare for all, the healthcare for all thing. And to help with teenage pregnancies, every teenager should get a console of their choice.
A video game console?
A video game console or a PC from the government. Okay. I think if you got more activities to do, you're not going to be go out and getting yourself in trouble. You can smash instead of smashing.
What about you, Dave? What was the one you wanted to add?
All drugs legal.
Ooh.
All drugs legal. Legal all over the place. The only thing is, if you get arrested or if you have problems to the point where you're about to die, you have to get help. You have to go into rehab or do whatever time they say, or get whatever help you need so that you don't get put in that position again.
I got one real quick as well. People like Doe who just thought like Doe right now, elimination.
Wow.
No, nigga, all drugs don't need to be legal. Heroin, meth, I can name a couple more. Oxys, all the well, that's medical too, but all them shits are not legal. You're talking about marijuana and all marijuana essence. That's what you're talking about.
There's some research that supports like legalizing all drugs will actually lead to a greater amount of like care for people that have addictions and things like that. I think Oregon's experimenting with that right now, aren't they? Oregon, Washington, one of the places in the Pacific Northwest.
Now, all drugs is legal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, psychedelics and everything. Yeah, I think all drugs should be legal. I don't think there should be.
So,
I think you should have to get help if you are in trouble.
I don't think so.
So like this is like the idea of what happens, right? You legalize drugs, right? So a lot of the violence that's happening surrounding around like trafficking drugs into the country, spreading that around, people trying to have their own little territory, so they're having shootout. A lot of that stuff just goes away. And there's not going to be a need to traffic because the shit's already legal. Like the only thing that they could be doing is trying to sell it for a lower price, like bootlegging, right? But yeah, like you kind of eliminate all that criminal aspect of it. Then not only that, now that it's legal, that means it has to be regulated, which means like Joe Schmo that's cutting it over here with like rat poison so that he could make an extra profit. Like those things don't happen as much. So now you kind of get a cleaner drug. Like,
Yep.
So then it's not going to have this like all these ODs that be happening because it's getting laced with different things. Like a lot of that stuff goes away. And then with legalization comes normalization. So then it's like people are going to start going like, all right, look, these people that have addictions and stuff, like, maybe we should help them instead of like arresting them. So it's like there's like those aspects. And like I get your concern, Tony, because you're basically saying if you legalize these things, then people are just going to become addicts. Like mad people are going to start taking all these crazy drugs and stuff like that. And that should be a concern that people should have. Absolutely. Which is why I think they're trying, like there's certain studies that seem to indicate that legalization would lead to better outcomes in regards to drugs. And certain people, like, they're testing it out. I think it's worth testing to see because the situation right now is fucked.
I can tell you right now, like the reason that I have not done meth in my life is not because it's illegal and because meth is hard to get or anything. It's because I don't have any interest in doing meth. If you legalize meth tomorrow, I'm not going to go out and do meth because I have no interest in doing it. So I don't think we're going to see a bunch of people going out and be like, well, now that heroin's illegal, I guess I'll give it a try.
There's that the Columbia professor that admitted to doing heroin on his free time as like a way to relax and stuff. A Columbia professor.
He probably got that clean cut shit, not that broke down shit that we get from the United States.
No, from the university, right? Not like Columbia University, not like Columbia the country.
Correct.
No, Columbia University in New York.
Yeah, that's what I was assuming you meant. Okay.
Yeah. Not Colombia, it's Columbia.
I also think, right, that if you're gonna do all that and make it legal, and then you're gonna give these people substance that is pure and small dosage, are they gonna charge these people for this, or is this gonna be free? Is tax people paying for this?
I mean,
what are they doing in Oregon?
Drugs still cost money, but they're not illegal anymore.
I would imagine it'd be like the dispensary situation in like legalized states where the government gives some kind of tax percentage of the drugs you're producing, and growing and manufacturing these drugs is, overseen by the government. So there's a meth facility probably out in fucking Arkansas because they probably already do that shit out there or something.
Well, if people really wanted to stop drugs coming in from the United States, the government can do that.
No,
obviously they can't.
They've been failing for years.
Yeah, dude,
you know why? Because they're not doing it. They're doing it the nice way.
How do you stop ultralight planes that can't be detected on radar from coming in and just doing drops over the border? Like,
define the nice way.
There are thousands.
You want to get rid of
thousands of miles of coast to cover. Like, there's no way, dude.
Bro, the government can literally track anybody if they really wanted to. If they put their time and effort in, they could track a single fucking person easily be tracked. Once they're tracked, drop a fucking bomb on them and move on. Move to the next nigga on the fucking list. Simple. If y'all want shit done, you fucking eliminate. That's it. Y'all want to get rid of drug dealers? Eliminate.
So basically what the guy in the Philippines is doing to drug dealers and drug addicts is killing them. That guy that's in the Philippines. Yeah.
Eliminate. So, that's what you want to do. If you really want to stop it, you go down that list. You make a list.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it. Tony has a good point. Like if we dropped nuclear bombs all surrounding America, just a lot of nukes, just to create like a radiation zone that completely encompasses the United States. Anybody who passes through, cancer and dies. If we create that, we'll stop all drugs from entering the country.
Tony,
am I wrong or am I right?
Honestly, I think the solution is We all just need to keep praying for that giant meteor to come and just wipe us all out. That's the change that we need in this world. Just that big ass meteor coming, boom.
If that happens,
that would get rid of
that'll
all the drug
also
dealers.
Stop all drug trafficking into the United States.
I don't think we're gonna need a meteor with the way climate change is affecting us. Fucking all gonna drown first.
Well, for our next topic, boys, because this one's got just nuclear fucking bombed. What are things that make you tick and that you are delighted by? You know, like
I am,
for example,
I am delighted by the idea of a giant meteor coming and just.
Yeah. You know what delighted me on the previous topic? Every time someone had an idea on how to change the world, Tony's face was like, he couldn't believe anything. Like, I feel like we need a compilation of just someone's like, school should be free. And he's just making a bit. Yeah, it was the best. I'm like, wow. Anytime someone says a good thing, Tony fucking hates it. I'm like, I don't get it. Like, all we needed was like, all guns free. Tony would have been like, everybody should get a shotgun. Everybody in America, shotguns everywhere.
I do think that that should be, if we're gonna be a nation of guns, at least fucking show people gun safety at a very young age. If we're gonna be all about rootin' tootin', boom, 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 at least like, look, Israel does it. Not a good example.
I don't think everybody should own a gun.
You know, free Palestine and shit like that. But like, I'm just saying, showing people how to use guns and stuff at an early age probably would.
Israel don't got gun safety. They got compulsory military. Like,
yeah,
like
you basically you have to go.
Everybody in their country has to go to the military.
I think there is one of the countries up there though, like Iceland or Sweden or something like that. They do have guns. I think they have a larger percentage of population that owns guns than the U.S. and it's because I think guns are part of their curriculum in high school education or something like that. I forget. I think one of those countries has something like that up there though.
What makes you tick, Tony?
Not his Apple Watch.
Yeah. Should stop ticking long ago.
I know things that delight me. I can go back to the tick in a little bit.
Wait, how do you differentiate those two things?
Like tick
what
is
is something that gets you that ticks you, and then something that delights you? Like examples. I'm curious. They sounded the same to me, but now it seems like they're different.
So a good example for us, because we're gamers, we hate lag, but we like to play the game, right?
Wait, so is what makes you tick? Is that something that you dislike? I thought it was just.
I'm just answering. I'm answering what he just said. What he just asked. Tick is something that you dislike. What makes you tick?
No. It's like literally the clock of the hands moving.
No, what
your body
about?
Being the clock. Yeah, it's making you tick.
I don't know. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. Like you guys
remember that one bitch that she would lay down?
We're back at it, ladies and gentlemen.
This motherfucker don't know.
He ain't never gonna learn.
Grow.
I changed. I've grown.
Tony don't say bitch no more.
I've got a haircut. I don't say bitch. I say wet dog. That's what I say.
What?
Move along. That's the definition of a bitch. If you didn't know that, it's a wet dog.
It's a wet dog.
I thought it was just a female dog. I thought that was if we're going.
You
like
remember
the
female dog,
the comfy couch girl?
Fucking idiot. So what makes you tick isn't what ticks you off. By the way.
Yeah, what makes
that's
you
what
tick.
you mean. Okay, so
that's what I mean by tick.
That's what the question.
What do you mean by tick?
What makes you tick means what
drives
you go. What drives you in life? It means what makes you happy.
It's what gets the people moving. It's like that phrase, "My humps, my lady love."
Nah, I was thinking ticks as making you tight ticks.
So you want to know what delights us and what upsets us?
Yeah, that's where I was going with it. But if we're going with the ticks, I would say family and video games, bro. Chilling.
I like
enjoying people's.
I like things we like and pet peeves. I think that's good. I think that's a good topic.
It's fun.
I was going with it.
Okay.
I know, but you got to pick a different question.
Obviously, my tick is different. What makes me tick is fucking just the dumb shit that people do, right? Like if I fucking
you don't know how this sounds. You're saying this is a complete contradiction to what you're saying. Like,
what am I saying?
It sounds like these are the things that drive you to be just amazing.
I'm saying tick as pissed off. Y'all saying tick as in
you can't say it like that.
Well, so then what tick do you want me to tick? What do you want me to tick?
You gotta say like what ticks me off.
I'm gonna say what pisses me off. What's pissing me off right now is your laughter.
You know what ticks me off? You know what makes me tick? It's people that can't use language properly.
Oh,
it gets me. Oh man, it makes me tick.
Oh.
What delights me is everything about this conversation. If I could bottle this up and just sip on it throughout the week, it would sustain me.
Here's the real question: are we ever going to have the conversation? Or are we just going to keep having the conversation about the conversation?
What makes me tick? What drives me?
Just say what upsets you, because that's what you're saying.
No, we're gonna go with your tick.
No,
we're gonna go with your tick. That's
just
what we're doing.
Drop the word tick and let's have this conversation.
All right, what pisses me off?
Yeah.
The word tick. The word tick pisses me off right now. Yeah. Nah, seriously, no serious. Dumb shit, like shit that don't make sense, right? Like going out to do anything, like paying bills. That shit kind of pissed me off, but it's a necessary thing that that we need to do. Like what?
I said necessary.
Yeah,
maybe it doesn't need to be. Maybe with a UBI. A little government assistance, maybe we don't got to pay bills.
Yeah, right.
I'm just saying,
to pay bills.
I think.
But I don't know.
I think most of my pet peeves are when I'm driving. Man, people that don't signal, people that cut you off, and then immediately like hit on their brakes.
Those are fucking dicks.
People
that pisses me off.
People that merge onto the highway at 30 miles per hour.
Bikers on the cars lane fucking section of the road. Like fuck out of here.
Yo,
fuck out of here.
I was going down Amsterdam. Quick fucking segue.
Amsterdam?
Amsterdam Avenue on 72nd. Oh. It's a string of lights that are all basically, if you catch one green light from 72nd, you could make it to 116th on that same green light going 20 something miles. Well, yeah, I go like 28 miles an hour. So yeah, me too. Cop hits the lights. Because I cut in between two cars. They were very close. We were all coming off the line. I'm fast. Cop pulls up next to me. He's like, yo, you got to be in the bike lane. And then I look at him and I'm like, is that the law? And then he looks at me and he's like, yeah, that's the law. And I'm like, are you sure that's the law? And then he like stops and he's like, all right, well, don't tell me anything when you get crushed by a car. And I looked at him and I'm like, I'm not paying attention because you're talking to me. And then I left.
That cop is trying to save your miserable life right there, though. You don't want to be happy and follow the rules.
If I would have told him in response, okay, when you guys get killed and because you guys are killing all these black people, don't say nothing to me. If that would have been
what does that got to do with you riding your bike illegally?
I'm not riding my bike illegally, which is why I asked him if that's a law. You remember when I said that? I said that because there is no law about you have to ride in the bike lane.
There should be.
All right. So we've had the bike conversation about half a dozen times already. Tony thinks that bikers just need to get murdered. He don't think they should have any kind of right. And Doey thinks that everybody who owns a car should be murdered. So we got the two polar opposites right on the pod. We've been there. We've done this. We could just move on. I'm exaggerating, of course. I don't think anybody here is advocating for genocide.
You know what's another pissing thing off? Hazard lights during the rainy weathers. I hate that shit in Florida.
Why do you hate it? Because
it's fucking annoying. It's not. You're not in an emergency.
There's a hazard. There's rain falling out of the sky.
I can't see you break.
4 inches. People died. Why wouldn't you want hazards?
That's 4 inches in a basement, my nigga. You're below sea level at that point.
In theory,
Florida's already below sea level.
In theory, anything that increases your visibility is a good thing.
Not when you got to hit the brakes. Have you driven and well, you have to have.
Wouldn't it help?
No, it doesn't help because you don't see the brakes.
Something. Hey, maybe I should start braking.
You saying the flashing yellow lights prevent you from seeing the red lights?
Yeah.
Are you colorblind like me?
Yeah,
I might.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe you can't differentiate them. In your case, that would be kind of shitty.
It's stupid. It's dumb. Like, it's just stupid. People's driving etiquettes are the worst. The fucking absolute worst.
I got another pet peeve, another thing that makes me tick, if you will, is people that say I could care less instead of couldn't care less. It's probably the most pedantic thing that pisses me off, and I fucking hate it. I hate when people say I could care less about this. It was like, could you? Really? You could? Then it's not that important then if you could care less about it.
That don't piss me off at all.
Yeah, those things bug me, but I've just learned to like kind of ignore them because people say a lot of shit like that, like sayings that just don't mean anything in reality. But you know, I don't know.
What about you, Pooch? What pisses?
We're all just Michael Scotting our way through life, okay?
So something I love, right? Something that gets me going. Some would say something that makes me tick. You know, a good book. Good comic book. I love reading, dude. Yeah, it's just the best, dude. You could do it anywhere. Reading's the shit. Now, and I'm not talking about all this whack ass reading that everybody likes to do. None of that self-help bullshit. Go eat a dick with that. I ain't reading no 12 steps of shit. Go fuck off with that, all that nonsense. I'm talking about lose yourself in a real book, that tells a story.
I've got a side question for that. Is our podcast a self-help podcast?
Maybe.
Are we adjacent to that field at least?
No, absolutely.
I don't know how I feel about that.
No,
I don't mind. I don't mind the self-help stuff. I just don't like when people are like, "Yeah, I read a lot," and then you're like, "What do you read?" And then it's like they own 100 self-help books. It's like, dude, why didn't the first one help you? Like, why the fuck are you reading so many of them? Like, fuck out of here.
Holy shit, that's a hot take.
It's like. You're gonna keep buying the same how to use how to use fucking Internet Explorer for Dummies. Like, if you buy 12 of those and you haven't figured it out, you're kind of fucked. Like, move on to something else. Go read Lord of the Rings book or something. Like, those are actually good. Like, I don't know. There's my hot take. I'm not a big fan of the self-help shit. And when I see people that only read self-help, it fires off some red flags. They're like, yeah, I read a lot. It's all self-help. It's like,
do you like?
I mean, some people are trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
not everybody has like their life figured out.
I don't got my life figured out.
Butcher, what is your preference? Do you like old school real books, or do you like the Kindle or some equivalent to that?
I used to be
physical book guy,
a tree killer, but now I don't know. Now I'm more of a Kindle guy. I go everywhere with my Kindle. It's hard to beat, man. You travel around with a book, you read a little bit, then you gotta fucking turn the corner or have a bookmark to kind of keep where you are, and there's a lot of effort. The City of the Dead. It's a decent book.
Never read that one.
It's worth the read. Those are those like retellings of the Resident Evil games. They add a bunch of shit that you never saw in the game. Yeah,
that's cool.
It's cool. It's a good place to start. People that think that they can't read books because it's not fun. And it's like, start with something interesting. For me, it was hood books. I'd read books about drug dealing, books about criminals, things like that. Because I grew up with that shit around me, like that interested me, but that led me into reading all these other nerdy books. I don't know, books got me going. Dead Space.
Damn, are all of Doey's books just video game books?
This one's like a comic book.
It's another red flag.
It's like a comic book.
Oh, that one's a graphic novel.
This motherfucker said that's another red flag. What is the red flag for that? Oh my god.
Didn't I just tell you that the video game books gets you reading books? If all you're buying is the video game books, it means he's never read them.
It's
like the guys who buy 30 self-helps. They haven't read them. They're not
that
help.
Shit got deep quick, baby. That shit.
You know what delights me, Tony? That Midnight Suns gameplay trailer, because it looks interesting as hell to me. It looks like a board game, and I am so on board because board games are one of my favorite things in the world. I love board games. I miss board game nights so damn much.
I love board games. I was the master of Monopoly. I love it. Love it. People hated me, but I love it.
I always wanted to open a hobby shop for that reason. I never had anybody to play board games with.
Yo, the Jehovah's fucked you up, though.
We could we've talked about capturing gameplay footage. We could capture some tabletop simulator or something.
I would. That would be cool. I never played Dungeons and Dragons. I've always wanted to do
I'm
these
good
things.
off that. I'm good off
I
that.
have 0 friends. Well, fuck you then, Tony.
I don't want to. I'm good off Dungeons and Dragons. I'm good off Dungeons and Dragons.
Why not? You sound like you would love being the dungeon master.
For sure.
I don't even know what it is, but that nigga sounds appealing to me right now. Nigga's the master of the dungeon. That's his world.
It's literally you're creating the dialogue.
I'm good.
You never saw Stranger Things? Those kids.
I have. They play it. I don't know. I'm not really into that WoW shit. You know what I mean? World of Warcraft shit. That's what I consider that shit. I know, but that's what I consider it in my eyes. That's what I consider.
Lucky for you, Tony. There's actually other tabletop role playing games where you don't have to be an elf or a dwarf or anything, and you could be like a space marine.
Yeah, Zombicide. I've always wanted. When I saw all these games that he has, I'm like, man, I wish I had like a group of friends I can get together and play this with. So I've always wanted to open like my. It's weird. It's gonna be some fusion place. It's gonna have video games. It's gonna have cards and all that shit a hobby shop has. But like
gonna
music.
have sex bots. When you're stressed out from the dungeon master, you can go fuck the shit out of your sex bot.
I'm gonna try to keep it PG in this place.
Maybe some.
So you wasn't.
Yeah, maybe I'll have like a anime section, hentai. Yo, I used to go to Virgin Records on 86th Street, and they used to have like hentai magazines. Good read when you're 8 years old, 7 years old.
You're not reading. You're looking at the pictures.
Oh yeah, getting a chubster in front of. Maybe that's where my exhibitionism comes from.
Your what?
Is my exhibitionism?
Yeah, like maybe that's where I
extra
get it
L.
from.
What was that English? Exhibitionism?
I don't know. Exhibitionism.
Exhibition. I don't know.
Exhibitionists like to like do shit in public, like sexual acts and stuff like that.
It means he likes the thrill of potentially getting caught.
Yeah, but I didn't want to. Like, of course, I didn't want to get caught, but I wanted to read the hentai
I wouldn't mind
when I was
caught.
8.
That might be lit. Like, think about it. Almost getting caught with your wife. Like, yo, babe, let's go on top of this cruise deck and just have sex on top.
You know, if you get arrested for that shit, you get like fucking public indecency charges. Like, it's real fucked up charges.
You could become a sex offender just for that.
Like a sex offender. Yeah, it's really bad.
That's kind of beast.
Yeah, you don't not want to get caught doing that shit outside.
But back to your hobby list thing with the Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I've never played this tabletop game, but I don't think I would ever try it. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Why wouldn't you try it?
It just feels like it's weird. Like I don't know. Like it just looks like a game that you just hold the character and it never ends. You just we'll come back tomorrow and finish it type game. Like shit to me. I don't know.
It depends on the game you're playing. I enjoy D&D. I played some D&D. We haven't played in months. But it depends on the game. There's so many different ways to do it. I've done one shots where it's just like you play one character, you go through one gaming session, then boom, done. That story was over. There's no.
But what was the point of this game? You beat the dungeon master?
No, it's the dungeon master crafts a story, and you play through the story.
Shit is weird already.
It's like the dungeon master is the one. He's the game engine, and everyone else is playing on his game engine.
Yeah, imagine there's a co-op game that you get to play with your friends,
and this is tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just means that there's some pieces and you roll dice. I mean, you could play D&D with nothing but a dice. Like just a dice is enough to play D&D because the game is really in your mind.
I really like those tabletop games where it's like social tabletop games. You know what I mean? Like adult games. Like they have Exploding Kitties or the
Exploding Kitties.
We played. Yeah. Which was the one we played when we were with Becca and Corey?
What was it like?
It was the one where we made pictures and then made like a scene with the like little stick figure guys.
It was the Cyanide and Happiness one. I forget what the name of that game is, but yeah, it's a Cyanide and Happiness one where you put together comic panels.
Yeah,
those are the shit I like. You get a bunch of people, have a game night, drinks are involved, and everybody's just acting shit out or whatever. That shit's fun to me.
Drinks are
Dungeons and Dragons.
This is why I haven't been drinking much, Tony. Is because I just haven't had very many social gatherings. I'm a social drinker. I don't really drink otherwise.
Yeah, I like socially drinking too.
You know what pleases me? Playing board games with my friends.
Mhm.
You know, a good taboo. That shit's a blast.
I've
You
never
guys
played
ever played
Taboo.
taboo? It's
Never played
fun.
Taboo.
I
It's
think
like
once.
charades. But instead of acting it out, you just say a lot of words, but there are words you're not allowed to say, and you just got to get someone to guess the word. You know,
That's
you're like
funny
Michael
to-
Jordan, but you can't say like sneakers, Chicago Bulls, six rings, or things like that.
Space Jam.
That's fun that you said that, Pooch, because it was a game that next time we all meet up, or if you were to come back down here and visit, whatever, there was a board game that I wanted to get so we could try. It's somewhat similar to that, but you act it out. And it was fucking dope. I played it at Ebo's crib or whatever. You guys last time we talked to him, but I played it at his crib for game night. Shit was pretty fucking lit. I was like, damn, this is something I could feel like we can do, and it was dope. Like those are the games that I like, but you just don't have too many friends that live around and shit. Like where you at in Orlando. Oh, well, you got your family.
That Spades at the first Florida trip. I really enjoyed that for the first day that we did it. After that, it became kind of a chore for us to just play Spades 24/7.
Who plays Spades?
You don't remember the trip where we sat inside of a house for 3 days, 4 days, and just played Spades all day?
Ooh, I was there?
Pretty sure you were there.
Yeah, I was in Florida. It was the first time I came down to Florida. We rented that house.
I had to beg you guys to go to the fucking
the mall.
It's the year we went to the mall, and then we went to Medieval Times.
Oh, that was in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I kind of remember not liking it because somebody sucked, and our shit was getting me tight.
We went downtown bar hopping.
That was lit.
That was
I
fun.
mean, we did a lot of things, right? But in between those things, you got to be somewhere. It just happened to be in the house.
That's why Monopoly would have been great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Monopoly, he's tight. Pucho's tight.
I'll play Spades or Monopoly any day, any single time.
It's the game ends. Monopoly is like infinite. Like something goes wrong. That's how it usually ends.
Someone rage quits the game, and that's when the game ends.
Or somebody creates an unfair alliance. All right, so I haven't gone yet. Wait, go ahead.
You know, no. I was
what
going to
makes
ask
you tick, though, and just pick whichever way you want to interpret that question.
I mean, I have a few. I'll start with the more important one. What makes me it tick in the way that I can't live without music. Can't do it.
Sorry, I can't live without music. I was like marijuana. Jesus.
And, I can't live without music. I need music. A portion of my day is always spent listening to some form of music or seeking out some new band, or like music has helped me in so many different ways in my life, and like that shit is that's something that makes me move. I mean, it'll inspire me. It'll help me through hard times. It's been there in like every facet of my life. Like I was the type of person when I was younger. It was kind of like I would always try to, like, just like you would try to smoke and do different things and see how that feels. I'd like to do things while I'm listening to music to see how they feel. Like how would it feel to do this and listen to music and stuff like that. So it kind of became like a drug to me. I needed it.
Would you rather live in a world without video games or a world without music?
Oh man, that's rough, bro. That's rough. Because
fuck music.
Those are two of the most important things in my life. That's how it ended up. That's how it ended up. Video games and music, two of the most important things to make me who I am. I don't know if I could live without either. But
I would tell you right now, though, video games, keep the music.
I mean, video games have music, so I guess it's just not going to be the music that I'm glad really like.
You see. Who cares? It's music. Look at Donkey Kong. I can literally sleep off the soundtrack of Donkey Kong.
I think it's cheating. I think the spirit of the question is really like you play video games without music, but you get to play games.
How weird would it be to play some video games with just silence, just like the grunts of the characters are running to the stage?
That'll be lit. Any FPS game, I'm hearing footsteps for miles. I'm shooting.
Oh, you say that, but you don't want to Tarkov it out with Chris Breezy. You have the chance to Tarkov it out and hear every footstep, put in every bullet in a gun. no aim. You don't know how to see. You don't know what to do anything in that game.
Yo, Breezy got hit with a flashbang.
Yo, he got hit with a flashbang. He was flashbang for like 2 minutes straight.
Just that's realistic. You couldn't see
big white light in the middle of the screen. It looked really realistic. Yeah, he was flashed for over a minute. Easy, over a minute.
That's nuts.
That's crazy.
Sounds terrible.
It sounds like a terrible time. I told him, I'm like, yo, go ahead.
You know what makes me? You know what ticks me?
It makes you tick.
What makes me tick? Going on vacations with my peoples, man. I love vacations with my people. That shit's always. I miss that shit. I miss that atmosphere. Like, yo, Airbnb this weekend. Who's coming? Who's not? We go, and the first thing we do when we see each other, bottles in the hands, starting fucking pouring. The wives is making grocery lists, even though that sounds sexist as fuck right there. But they handle it because we're too busy getting drunk. And we're just living our life. We don't have no plans. We're just enjoying our company. That's what I miss.
Tony's burning some burgers.
Black burger.
But no, seriously, that's what I really want. I want a good vacation.
Butch and I are doing video edits there in person.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's good shit.
Yeah, I felt like that was pretty dope.
It felt very good to be in a house together.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous of that Achievement Hunter setup, dude. I don't know how we would ever get to that level, but man, that setup looks
easy.
So
you guys
dope.
will have to move to Florida.
Nah, Florida's gonna be underwater here soon, dude.
Yeah. Texas is shitty.
I mean, I agree currently for sure.
New York is like too many fucking people in one area.
Yeah, I wouldn't ever recommend. The only reason I would tell people to come to New York is to try to make the most money, because you'll get paid the most here for what you do, and get the fuck out after you're like 50 or 40. Once you make like a settle and you have like a career. For me, it's looking like very soon. I don't want to. Once I have a kid, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm trying to get out of here to go raise my kids somewhere better.
You impregnate someone?
Hopefully, it could happen soon, sooner than later.
Fire. I'm looking at you, sweetheart.
Yeah.
What a fucking creep. He was like one of my college roommates. He was just like, yo, if I don't got a kid by 30, I'm just gonna impregnate the first person.
That is fucking.
He's like, fuck it, it's happening. I was like,
wow,
Jesus.
That's beast.
It worked out for him, in case you guys are wondering. But he got someone pregnant.
You know what else I like a lot that makes me tick?
Marijuana.
Like strategy games, but which goes with kind of the board games, but like a good old strategy game.
Are you saying that because you're logged into XCOM 2 currently?
Yeah, no, I'm always playing this game. This game is always on in the background.
Discord calls you out every time, dude. I saw that earlier.
That's okay.
Wow, dog.
We're of the chosen.
Doey, that Midnight Suns.
What is it about?
Did you not see it? It's by Fire Axis.
Really? Is it a new game?
Yeah, it's gonna be a Marvel game based on the Midnight Suns group from the Marvel comics.
Okay, awesome. That's cool enough. I'll take it. I love anything Fire Axis does. 2K, even though their games are a glitchy hot mess, unfortunately.
Is it because they give you? Is it because they give you that freedom?
No, I just like planning things, and I like, even with this podcast, like it's been a cool aspect. The meetings and stuff like that, planning and getting shit together. That shit's fun for me. Like getting all our shit in line.
That makes
so
it
dope.
big.
And what is freedom to you, though? And does freedom exist? Since you like this planning and all this, what is freedom for you?
What is freedom? And like, in what sense? Like, I don't know what you mean. Like, freedom in what way?
Freedom, like free will. What is freedom, and does that shit exist?
I think free will and freedom are two different concepts, I guess. But like,
for sure, yeah, they really are.
I think they're kind of hand in hand.
Free will is like, I mean, yeah, I think it's unique to humans. Free will, yeah, I think that's like a unique thing.
So what is freedom?
Humans. Freedom is a concept of how free are you right now? Like right now, I guess I'm free to a certain extent, but like I have a 5-day work week, and I don't want to have that 5-day work week. I kind of wish there was a different way for me to go about making the money so that I could pay the bills, so that I could do this 5-day work week. Kind of fucking sucks. Kind of doesn't give me enough to do my thing.
I read the definition of freedom that I think I might have been the one that put this on the spreadsheet. I'm not positive.
I think it probably was you.
But I read this definition of freedom that has kind of put me on the side of thinking that freedom doesn't actually exist, because this definition of freedom said that freedom is the ability to act without coercion from whether that be from violence, monetary aspects, emotional coercion. So it's basically the ability to make a decision without something else forcing you to make that decision.
Yep.
And that makes me think that freedom doesn't actually exist, because it doesn't matter what decision you're making. There are some aspects. One of those things is going to inform that decision. Like I don't know. I couldn't just fly down to Florida because, like Doey said, I've got a job. I've got responsibilities. Does that mean that I don't have freedom because I am not able to do that? By this definition, it claims no, because that my decision is being made for me.
That almost sounds like a consequence thing. Like if you do this action, there's a reaction.
Yeah, that's what coercion means.
So, yeah, I think you can still just fly down to Florida. That's your freedom to do. But you're saying that you're trapped. So then, in retrospect, when you die, then that's when you're truly free.
If you believe that there's an afterlife or anything,
opposite of freedom, you aren't able to live anymore.
If that's what you believe in, though. There's an afterlife that negates that. But I don't know. What about you, Pooch? You got mad emoji faces over there.
Nah, I was yawning, but yeah, I don't know. Like, freedom is a very interesting concept because, you know, when you talk freedoms, like really what you mean is like, how free are you to do things, right? And like Mateo said more eloquently, there's a lot of things that stop us from there's a lot of forces in our lives that stop us from doing what we want. Like people don't want, like none of us want ultimate freedom to even exist. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want people to just be allowed to like murder another person? Like, nah. So like that's something that you're like, all right, that's off the table, right? So there's a lot of things societally that we take off the table because we think society would function better that way. And then the more shit that you introduce into your life, you know, those things start to have some control over you. Like your job, unfortunately, has some control over you. Like you know, if you got a lot of money, it's easy to just quit, right? Because you'll live, right? But people that, you know, they need that check, that, you know, they don't have the freedom to just find another job and be like, no, that employer sucked, I'm gonna just find a better employer. Like people don't have the freedom to do that. So it's a little complicated to say, you know, that like what is freedom, or are you free? And you know, it's, I don't know, I think in some respects, you know, we're freer than ever before, and in other aspects, you know, we have no freedom. You know, I think it just depends on how you look at it. One of our friends on Facebook posted one of the silliest things I've ever seen in my life, where they were saying basically, we have no freedom today. And not only do we have no freedom today, but we had more freedom under British rule, you know, prior to the American Revolution.
Huh. Show his work. What was his proof of this statement?
Well, he was saying like
a hot take.
Well, you didn't have anybody could just own a gun. You didn't need a gun license. Basically, there were all these things that you could do because there wasn't that much regulation. Pretty much, that was like the argument. To me, someone just completely destroyed his argument. He's like, dude, there was slavery.
Damn.
I was like, dead.
That is an argument ender right there.
Yeah, and what's interesting though is from his perspective, like if those are the things he values, like he's not exactly wrong though. Like if he just wanted unmitigated access to firearms, yeah, we're less free today than we were at a different time period, and and that goes for a lot of other things. Like if you don't want to pay the government a dime, it's like, yeah, we pay more taxes now for a variety of things than we than back in the day. So I mean, I think there's a give and take. I think us paying those taxes gives us more freedoms than not. The freedom to confidently walk into a grocery store and buy any item of food and know that it's not going to kill you. Like it's not going to be like immediately like toxic, because we have an FDA that we have some trust in. We're like, all right, if the food is on this shelf, it means the FDA approves of this being consumed. And I can have some confidence that when I put this in my mouth, I'm not gonna fucking die. Like it's not fucking cyanide. Like
yeah, it's not over the federally allowed amount of rat feces per unit or whatever.
Right.
But it is important to note that there is some amount of allowed percentage in everything you consume.
There's an allowed percentage of everything, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts. That rat poop is getting on there. One of the creepiest things, I used to live my life free, and this person took my freedom away. I would just have a can of beverage, just drink it, and I was just happy. I was free as can be. And somebody was like, dude, that's fucking disgusting. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, rats shit all over these cans. Like, you need to clean the can before you drink. And I'm like, what? And so then I started taking napkins and cleaning the tops of like soda cans, and that shit is black.
Somebody died from that too.
From cleaning a can?
From ingesting rat shit that was on the can. Or something like that in New York. It's some myth because I heard the same thing.
Oh man, we need to do an urban legends.
Some urban legend shit, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, these cans be dirty a lot of the times.
Thank God I don't drink canned sodas. I don't drink
soda. That's a fact too. I was talking about from when I was 11. But just that person telling me that information now forced me to be like, if I don't have some means of cleaning this at this moment, I'm just not going to drink it. Some would say that's removing my freedom to enjoy a beverage. That's all I'm saying.
So is ignorance freedom?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, that's free.
Yes.
That's 100% free.
100%. 100%. Ignorance is happiness too. I mean, we live our life. I don't want to know everything that's happening in the world. Like deep down, like there's all types of bad shit. And it's like, we're willfully ignorant in a lot of ways. Like we could spend our time learning about all the problems in the world, and we don't because we're like, to some extent, it's not my problem.
It's a lot.
It sounds terrible, but it's like I can't spend my time caring about everything. I'm not gonna do anything, and I'll probably be depressed.
So Tony, what is freedom to you, and does freedom exist?
I think we changed his mind
slightly. Yeah, I don't think freedom is real. To be truly free is to literally probably just maybe be like homeless in a way, right? Like they don't have to do anything, go anywhere. They do as they want, how they want.
I think
some get arrested for sleeping.
I think there's a lot of coercion in every decision they make every moment of their life, trying to like
I don't know. I mean,
and whatnot.
They want freedom to receive money, but they're told to do a magic trick or start tap dancing.
Damn. I retract all statements previously made. That's a dead one right there. No, yeah, man. I don't think freedom is
Oh my God. I just bumped my ankle on the side of this chair. It's hard.
That's what you get. That's what you get.
It's messing you up.
Karma, bitch. Karma.
Wow. That shit's pure. That's just Valerian steel. All right. It hurt me.
Steel. But yeah, no, I don't think where freedom is exists. I think yeah, you give freedom as in like choices and shit you can do, but there's like I said, there's what was the word? Coercion. Yeah.
I think freedom kind of exists, but I think that like the way that people use the word is wrong. Like, and I think everyone just wants freedom for themselves, not for others. They want themselves the right to do whatever the fuck they want, but they don't want other people to have that same right. Like,
Yep.
I want freedom of judgment.
ooh,
That's what I want. If I want to smack myself with a fucking whole cake to the face, I want no judging.
I wouldn't judge you for that, Tony.
People judge. You know, if I want to be happily gay, don't judge me. Why does the Christians judge me? Like Doughboy said earlier, you know, if I want to be fucking have a sex robot, don't judge me. I want freedom of judgments. I don't want to be judged for anything. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the type of freedom I want.
I'm down with that.
That's never going to exist because everybody has a judgment. Even I got judgment on shit when I see it. You know what I mean? But
yeah, but I think there's certain things that, in that regard, that we judge less. Like in time, right? Like gay people were probably judged far more in the past than they are now.
In some societies.
Yeah, sure. I'm talking in our society. In America, people hated gay people more than I think they hate them now.
I would agree. I think that things are slowly getting better as far as some things like that.
You know, interracial relationships was like one of the worst things you could do, and now you know only a little bit of people hate you for it. You know,
yeah.
So I mean, I think those people get judged less. So I think over time, you know, hopefully cake smashing becomes normalized, and you could smash as many cakes in your face as you like.
I'm only saying that because this is friend of the pod's dream. You know, my boy E, his dream is to just eat cake happily as a child, and I kind of want that too sometimes. You know, a nice big carrot cake, just
you can just
smashing that shit.
You know
eat
who
it
gave
alone.
him that dream?
What?
You know who gave him that dream?
You?
No. It was
who?
It's Prince Money Miggs.
His birthday. That is
Felix,
right.
Friend of the pod, shout out.
Seducer, producer / seducer.
Yes, sir.
Oh my god.
The Not Your Average Otakus crew, you know.
Big shout out.
His son's first birthday, right? The gang was there. Not Mateo, sadly. But I think all three of us were there and Everett. And we're all there chilling. And they give Miguel a birthday cake. Put it on the table. And this 1-year-old goes to town on this cake. I mean, it's fucking messy. But, you know, it was fun. And everybody was clapping and happy. And the vibe was right. And Everett was like, yo, I fucking wish I could just eat a bicocho like that and have everybody happy for me. So shout out to Money, man.
You know what? I'm down to make this dream happen. I think that is an awesome dream, and I think we should be some dream makers here on this podcast.
Yeah, we could be the dream makers. Like once a month, we just make a dream come true. Like we could, you know, little dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like
meanwhile,
like
Doughboy is here. Like, make my dream first.
Yeah,
make
and then we're gonna become pieces of shit. Whoever gives us, what is it, charitable contributions, we're gonna bump them to the top of the dream list and make it happen for them first.
Would that be performative charity though? If we started just making dreams happen, because would we be putting it up on the channel? Like, be some
hell yeah, we're promoting our shit. Be performative as fuck. I'm trying to monetize this shit.
Be some moral questions here.
I want people to donate money to the pod so we can make dreams happen, and then it'll make the pod popular. And then we put it on YouTube and make YouTube money, but we'll still take the charitable contribution so we can make more dreams happen. And hell
yeah, I'm down for that. And then that's the one up.
And then one day, Joey can box Floyd Mayweather Jr. When Mayweather's about 85, and we can see it. We can see what happens. Maybe it'll
be an exhibition. They'll get knocked the fuck out, but they'll be like, no winner.
No, I'll have the best trainer there is, Pucho. He's gonna show me how to box. He's gonna show me how to take down Floyd Mayweather. I'll have a fucking one of those monologues, those montages.
That'd be lit.
Oh, I want to
I'd
see
have
it.
a
I want
crazy
to see a
montage.
training
I'll edit
montage
that
of Joey
montage.
so
That'd be-
much.
Like an
dope.
HBO special.
I want to have a
Just-
band. I want to have a band in the background of every scene playing the montage music, and then everywhere I'm at, I'm swimming. They're under the water.
Yo,
Tony's
this man's-
gonna be the voiceover.
I could fuck with that. My voice can change really good. Get that old.
I told you,
So
there's gonna
wide.
be the One Up Podcast cinematic universe is coming.
No, but I Doey or Pucho and Mateo's got an idea of what this make a dream come true bullshit. I like that. We can make dreams come true if we just get donations.
I mean, I don't think the donations are
Sounds crazy. It
necessary.
sounds crazy how I say it like that, but we get all these donations and be like, "Hey, Jose just got a new Maybach. Like, I made a dream come true. Mine, bitches."
we're all just gonna have crazy drip on, just all kinds of chains.
I always wanted a Cuban link.
The dream makers made
just
it happen.
covered in jewelry. Be like, yeah, we just need a few more donations to really make another dream happen.
Yeah, that's fucking classic, bro. The one-up dreamers. Yo, hey, this is real.
You know what? And we become a church, and then we don't even have to pay any taxes on those donations.
Yep.
Done.
That's winning.
The one-up church. Hey, shit. That's a one-up on all churches. Then we'll have the Vatican come for us and shit. Better watch out. But I think we covered a lot of topics today on the on the show for sure. Fucking a lot of hot takes. I think it's good. To all the fans out there, hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell. Get notified when we dropping these hot vids on you. Because, boy, do we love dropping these hot vids. That subscribe button, click it, love it, share it, and do thank you for your love and support. And go one up yourself every day till your last day of breath.
Damn.